Good day. This is the beginning of Dominion. Telling my story. I will be not be using names. I will say like mom, dad, brother and sister, or cousin or whoever. Okay. So just to get started briefly, I will be sharing from the ages that I can remember from 2 to up until like the elementary year 5 at the beginning. So just to briefly start sharing with you as well. Oh, by the way, I do not want it's like, oh, woe is me, or oh well, a sad story or nothing like that. I strongly believe that you go through things in life to become who you were to help the other ones to become who they are. So now at the beginning again, from the age of 2, I can remember actually sitting out on a pot. We actually stayed in the Carolinas. It was cold around this seasoning, and it was, ice. It was icy cold, y'all. You know how you have that icy still cold. But anyway, I was actually too. I was sitting out on a pot. That my mom had put me out there. I don't know how. I don't know. I guess I've probably been out there for a couple hours or so. And so I'm here. My dad. He's running down the street. Like, I know that's not my child sitting outside. So he got closer to me. He speeded up some. By this time, I'm basically purple. I feel like I'm swollen, to be honest with you guys. So he picked me up. Easily because I had frostbites on me, and so he took me in the house. He adds me on like a pair of blue jean pants and a pink jacket. So him and mom, he has me in his left arm, and my mom, they're going back and forth. He's just basically, he didn't hit her, but he was basically trying to be like, telling her that she was wrong, and so she ended up calling the police on him. And they took him to jail for kidnapping, which even to this day, it's just kind of, blew my mind, due to the fact it was what any parent would do. But, I love them both. But, at that moment, I'm still thinking like, like why? So I wasn't able to see him. Actually, he was out of our lives. It was set up for him to be out of our lives, like basically forever, until we got up old enough to, able to be able to see him ourselves. So I had another sibling that was the brother up under me. I had an older sibling. For whatever reason, some people say it was crib death. Some people say that she was by my mom. But anyway, so from that age too, I can remember we started going to a daycare, um, and it was actually in the Westgate part of the Carolinas. And this particular, I don't know, it seemed like this daycare is set on top of a hill, right? So they used to sit me in a high chair, y'all. I had to sit in that high chair like all day, every day, all day long. They made me sit there and just even being a wet, like a pamper or whatever. I don't even think if I was the age, I shouldn't even should have had on a pamper, but they sit me in that high chair. So to make that story short, those people they ended up actually closing that daycare down. I believe that company was sued as well. Then I was going to elementary school at the age of 4. And I don't know, y'all. I had this teacher, she used to just give me this evil eye all the time that I can remember of. So we used to stare at each other. And so, in spite of the things I was already going through at home, actually, when I went to school, I'm gonna just say this. This one particular day, she just decided to come to my desk, and it was kind of like the L-shaped desk, so you really had to, get out of the desk. So this lady snatched me off and over the L part of the desk, and she, snatched me. She pulled me by my ear first, and she turned me upside down. So yes, of course, you guys, natural facts, I did hit her back. Um, and I sat up under the desk until my mom got there, and I got, of course, beat again. But um, I was expelled from the school from getting a teacher. Nobody's seen the point of fact, like, well, what caused it? She had affairs. But it's kind of like it was just crazy how it happened because I knew from the beginning again that these group of people, like, even from this day, they just follow me. They just never liked me, and I'm okay with that, because God, actually been with me since I was a little girl, little girl, and I love him. I love God. Um, so I would say after that, from that age 2 to 5, I went through a lot of abuse. Actually, it seemed like at one point, as far as like I was supposed to have been killed, but God has His mission. So what God has for you, when God has His hands in something, nobody can do nothing to you until no, well, no, it ain't no until God take care of His own. Period. And he say, no weapon formed against you will not prosper. Anything that rises up against it shall be condemned. I stand on that. And actually, his purpose in life for us being here is just his purpose. And no man is dangerous for any man to try to come up against his will. But I'm going to end the story here. I will say, actually, as a child as well, all my life I've been mentoring children when I was going through. I actually, okay, just a little bit more of elementary. I was the black sheep already at home, and I didn't care about groups though. I didn't care about being in like this particular group, but I always sat back and been like, well, this group is Jonesy, and this group is da da, and this group. But I didn't bother nobody. Had no problem with nobody in school. Actually, I was like the one that was picked that, but I used to actually get the people that was bullying other people. Because I never like nobody bullying or taking advantage of people. Also at that age, my mom actually ended up getting involved with another guy, and that brung into the be honest with you, the abuse got worse between me and my mom and my stepdad. He was a he was molesting me. It made me concerned. But within that time, and again, I was in elementary, and I moved up a little bit. Age wise, this was from grade third all the way up to sixth. Actually, I was going to a school here in the Carolinas, and so it was basically like my mom, again, married, got involved with this guy, and she had two other siblings. I have two other siblings that was by this guy, and then me and my oldest brother and the sister to Terrence that passed away before I was born. But we had, our different dad. So I used to have to actually get up every morning and walk my mom to work. She worked actually a few miles away from where we stayed at, so I walked her to work. She had two vehicles, and he had a vehicle, but for whatever reason, but it was just kind of like a curse in the area where people used to always get hit by 18-wheeler trucks, and I don't know, I used to always get put out by the have to walk on the outside of her. It's like if it was officially meant for me to get hit by a truck, but of course, who God is, that didn't take place. So about the time I got back, I had to get myself ready for school, get my other siblings ready, and at the same time being molested by my stepdad. And so I don't know. After that, you guys, there's so much more to say, but I think I'm going to end it there. I'll pick back up as far as elementary and moving forward. Okay. All right. I love you guys. You take care of yourselves now. Bye for now.